Why don't we start in the SEC since that seemed to be one of the more interesting talking points as part of the previous segment. Right now, my top 5 in the SEC goes Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and Tennessee in that order. Those are my top 5. Obviously,
okay, continue.
Obviously, Alabama with the big win over Georgia.
Yeah.
I got to put Bama in front of Georgia. Now, if you had talked to me 3 weeks ago, I had Bama lower on this list. But again, Limber polls, these are power rankings. My logic in putting this together was if I put Team A against Team B, who do I think is going to win? We just
on
saw
a neutral
Bama
site?
Neutral site. We just saw Bama beat Georgia. I'm going to go Alabama. Okay, Alabama 1. Georgia 2. I struggle with Ole Miss. I like Ole Miss. I like Ole Miss a lot. I really like Trinidad Chambliss. I think he's the real deal. They have played better on defense than I've expected so far, and I like where their schedule is at. I'm just a little bit leery about having them this high because I wasn't nearly this high on them in the preseason. And I still feel like there's going to be a boogeyman waiting for me around one of these corners here that I don't see coming now. But I like where Ole Miss is at currently. If this is snapshot where we're at in the moment, Ole Miss is probably 3 ahead of Texas A&M. Now, the conversation between 5 and 6 for me was really where it got interesting.
Okay.
Because Tennessee just went to overtime against Mississippi State. Mississippi State has been one of the better stories in college football. Have they not so far?
Definitely.
Right. So I like where they're at. They definitely are better than a lot expected, including myself. But where does Mississippi State rank on this ladder? And where does that put Tennessee on this ladder? To me, was a huge question. Tennessee did get the win on the road, and Starkville is not always the easiest place to play. So I give them credit for that. I had Tennessee by a nose ahead of Texas. And I reserve the right to change my mind on that before long. Because I just don't think Texas has looked that impressive.
Okay.
So that, for me, was one of like the initial break points in my power rankings in the SEC.
Texas, by the way, so they're number 9 in the country in the AP poll and number 6 in the SEC for you.
That's right.
Okay.
That's where I've got it. And then after Texas, who I have 6th, I have LSU at 7, Vandy at 8, Mizzou at 9, Oklahoma at 10. And the logic there was
Oklahoma 5 in the country.
5 in the country.
10 in
Listen, I don't
SEC.
care. I don't care.
This is yours. This is your. I appreciate it.
This is in the moment.
Right.
And the truth of the matter is that Oklahoma has a great defense. And Oklahoma is way better than they were a year ago.
Yes.
But Oklahoma is going to be without their best player for the next month. Now, Michael Hawkins Jr. is not green. He is not new to this. He played a fair amount last season. They seem to have a great confidence in him, but I still don't think it's the same team. So I'm going to knock Oklahoma for that. That's why I've got them as low as I do.
Right.
That may be unfair. I really don't care. These are my opinions at this point in time, okay?
Yeah.
Missouri is another one of these schools I had no idea where to go with Missouri.
Okay.
I like Mizzou. Mizzou's look really good. Mizzou hasn't played anybody.
I agree.
I struggled with them a lot.
That seems reasonable. Yeah.
And then after Oklahoma, then you start getting into teams where I truly don't know where they stack up. There's a lot of potential here, I think, at the bottom still for some of these teams to really take a jump. I still think Florida has a lot of talent, though I don't think they're organized enough to really mount any kind of charge. Auburn very much falls in that same category of having a lot of talent, but it just feels like they leave us wanting week in and week out.
Agree.
Mississippi State. I don't know how high to be on Mississippi State. I've got them all the way down here. What is this? 4th from the bottom?
But here's the idea. The idea of a power ranking is a snapshot of how you're feeling about them right now, not necessarily how you anticipate them.
I know.
How you anticipate feeling about them in mid-November.
I have struggled with Mississippi State when I put this list together because there is a fair amount of me trying to convince myself that they should be higher and not lower. But then I look at the other schools around them, and I cannot in good faith put them above a school like an Oklahoma.
But it's not a projection. I understand that, yeah.
So I struggle with that. And then to round out the bottom, I've got South Carolina, Arkansas, and Kentucky. I'm probably too low on South Carolina.
I agree.
I'll throw this out there. I'm probably way too low on South Carolina. But again, if I am putting A against B, B against C, C against D, neutral site, this is how I would probably grade these teams out.
Okay. So what is it about Auburn that has you impressed with them enough to have them over Mississippi State and South Carolina?
It is, I guess, this
That they
deep
beat
belief.
Baylor a month ago and didn't have done nothing since?
They have been close.
Okay.
Okay, close
Great.
is definitely not a stat that we track too much.
Is there
here.
a close close playoff, right? That like we have the regular one and then we're reserving these other 12 for teams who are just like, I know you guys went 3-9.
The one score playoff? It'll be Auburn. It'll be Nebraska from last year.
From
It'll
a few
be
years ago, yeah.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
It'll be USC from a year ago.
When
right?
Nebraska was the best 3-9 team ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I struggle with the Auburn side of this as well because Auburn has been close.
Yeah.
I still like the talent that Auburn has, especially on defense, but I'm at the point now where I'm ready to write Jackson Arnold off. I don't think this is going to work. And he's better as a runner than a thrower. For sure, there are moments of good productivity out of him.
Yeah.
But to say that he is this steadying force, to your point at the start of the year, Auburn is not generally the place you go to like turn things around because it's a stable program.
Buddy,
And
Auburn's
we're
not the
seeing
place.
that.
Auburn's not the place you go to get a single first down on third or fourth down against Texas A&M.
0 for 15, something like that. Yeah.
You know who else likes the talent on Auburn's defense? Texas A&M's offense, who moved the ball the entire game, all of the time. They just came up short in the red zone. So I think you are probably leaning on your August Auburn opinion, perhaps a little bit much.
I am. No, I'll admit it.
I would have Mississippi State and South Carolina higher here. Florida in the bottom half makes sense. I would have Oklahoma a lot higher than you have them because the snapshot is they've beaten Michigan and a not so good Auburn team kind of barely. But you got to win your games. I would have Vandy higher here. What has Vandy not shown you against their schedule thus far?
Would you
Sid?
put Vandy above Texas?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you put Vandy in the top 5?
I think so. Yeah. They're in America's top 15, top 16, right?
Okay. Now,
I
listen,
would have. Yeah.
I understand that this is going to be drastically different from the AP poll and probably what a lot of people think, but I don't really care.
Sure.
You know my logic. That is my logic.
Yeah. I would have Texas A&M higher. Like, why Georgia at number 2? What is it about what Georgia's season this year? That the winning at Tennessee is a legit very good thing.
Sure.
They did everything they could to lose that game.
They did. But they, I think, showed a lot of resolve coming back, winning in the manner that they did. There is part of me that is still intoxicated by that throw that Gunnar Stockton made.
You're insane.
To London Humphreys. I loved it. It was incredible.
They just
incredible throw.
They just lost to a team at home who didn't score a single point in the second half, right?
Correct.
That's your second best team in the SEC?
That's my second best team in the SEC.
I think you're sniffing way too much red and black.
All right, then tell me your top 5.
I would go right now.
Right now.
I would go maybe A&M 1.
Okay.
Alabama 2, Ole Miss 3, Vandy 4, Tennessee 5, Texas 6, Oklahoma 7, Mizzou 8, LSU 9. Or I didn't put Georgia in there. Georgia would probably be 6 or 7.
Georgia 16.
Georgia 16. Okay. So something in that range.
All right.
I would have Mississippi State higher than Auburn and Florida. And South Carolina higher than Auburn and Florida at the moment.
Okay, that's fair.
I do agree with you that we need to see something from Mizzou. Like when you actually watch LSU football games, you come away thinking Brian Kelly has messed this offense up. Like they are an extremely average program right now because of this offense. And I don't know how injured Garrett Nussmeier is or is not, but they have not developed an offensive line over the course of Brian Kelly's tenure. They're dealing with injuries, obviously, on offense. Aaron Anderson went down against Ole Miss. But, this is a borderline inept offense at LSU.
And I think what's the most confounding to me on the LSU offensive line front, they got guys drafted. You know, these guys that they had on the line last year, a bunch of them got drafted.
Yeah.
The fact that they were good enough to be drafted into the league, but not good enough as a unit playing together.
Yeah.
Speaks to, I think, something on the coaching side. If you can't get those guys to mesh and play together and all be on the same page, it is not a talent thing. That points directly at a coaching thing. And I think that's definitely problematic.
It could be column A, column B. They couldn't run with their line last year. Like, Will Campbell's a great offensive lineman, but this unit couldn't push dudes forward.
No.
I don't know. I think it's a combination of factors here, but I don't think it's it's not a skill talent thing. The best of Garrett Nussmeier is really good. He was just underthrowing dudes against Ole Miss. Like, they're off. It's a very flimsy offensive plan and a mode of execution. So, yeah, I think LSU is a very average SEC team at the moment, which is where power rankings should come into play. So, take care of business against quality teams, against average teams, against not so good teams like Vandy has, and you impress me at the end of September. If we're doing this exercise again at Halloween, at Thanksgiving, whatever, it's just going to look different because of the data available. But this is what we have to go on.
It's what we have to go on.